Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Melissa if you're just joining me here. I figured for today's video we would do something kind of just a quick, simple little planty update of some new plants that I've gotten probably over the last several months or so, just to give you guys an update on them and how they're doing. I have some that are doing really well and I have a couple not so well. I'll probably do another planty update more so towards the end of the month or beginning of April on the rest of my plants in my collection. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're gonna get started here. The first one we're going to talk about is this Epi marble that I got. This was done in a Etsy shopping, plant shopping video that I did with you guys. It was sold to me with active growth points, and when I got the cutting, it didn't have any active growth points, and I was upset about that. I thought it was a spent node. It was a whole like drama situation. It does have a tiny bit of growth happening. So I got this plant in November. It was over Thanksgiving. So it's been November to December, January, February, March. It's been 4 months, and this is all that it's done in 4 months. I have a tiny leaf right here. That's the first leaf. It's so tiny. And there's another growth point right here forming. So it's going to eventually grow from that node. The original leaf is yellowing a bit, which is to be expected. It's the original leaf. And there is another node activation happening. You can kind of see right there, there's another growth point right there. The seller did tell me that this plant had 2 nodes, and I didn't even see the node that was growing here. I didn't even realize that was a node because it's like way down at the soil level. And that one here just popped out maybe a few weeks ago. You know, it is what it is. I do have, you know, a little growing plant. It's going to take time. Now, I will say if you are purchasing cuttings, you are taking a chance. You know, I assumed that there was an active growth, but there wasn't. So I would say lesson learned, if I'm buying a plant, I will make sure it has active growth points or get some like better quality pictures or just ask the seller. And then I would steer away from buying a cutting of this plant just because the growth points seem to take a really long time to do anything. And I'm a patient person. I don't mind that it's a slow grower. I just would have appreciated the upfront honesty about the growth points. So that is all this plant has done in the 4 months, that tiny little growth. So I'm assuming it's going to be a while before I get a decent, you know, size leaves on this plant, probably several more months into the growing season. So that is the update on this little guy. The next plant I want to update you on is one of my birthday plant mail. This is the Alocasia jacklyn. And look, you might notice there's a new leaf here. It's so cute. It's a little bit bigger than the original. And the little baby one yellowed off. It had a little baby yellow leaf. It yellowed off and died. And it had another like leaf forming here, but the leaf kind of shriveled up. So I just plucked it off. So yeah, the next growth point is right here. I don't know why my camera's not wanting to focus today. The next new leaf will pop out of here. But I'm excited. It's so cute. I love this Alocasia. I just think the leaf shape and everything is so cute, and I love the little baby hairs on it. So I'm excited. I'm excited that it gave me like a pretty decent sized leaf. I did add some fertilizer in here when I was fertilizing all my plants. I'm not going to repot this one anytime soon. The soil isn't as chunky, but again, in my space, it's probably going to dry pretty quickly. So I'm going to leave it in here for a while until it gets pretty root bound, and then I will upsize it. So it seems happy and I'm excited for it. This next little cutie is a Philodendron sodiroi. This was also a new plant purchase. This was another unboxing that I did, and it seems to be doing really well. It's growing roots into the thickly pole. This was one of the newer leaves. It's already so much bigger than the rest of them here. And it does have another growth point you can see here. That leaf is going to be pretty, I can tell. I feel like it's going to be even bigger than this one. One of the original leaves down here died, but it's kind of fanned out, like spread out kind of towards the light sources in all directions. And you can see there's roots in the pole in there. So I'm excited for it. I think this one is going to be beautiful once it starts climbing. I love the leaf shape and the color. It has this like pretty blue silver tone to it. I think it's going to be so pretty. So I like this one a lot. It's definitely, I feel like, going to be one of my up and coming favorite pole plants once it gets to be the size of like some of my other ones back there. So this one is doing well. I added slow release in this one not too long ago. And I'm just excited to see it climb more. So very happy about this one. This next one is another Alocasia that I got that was new. This is the heterophylla or dragon's breath, and it's doing well since the repot. I do have some leaves that have some more of that spotting showing up. Like here's a spot on this one. I did spray some leaves with a fungicide, so I haven't seen that it spread too much, but I'm just keeping an eye on it. I might have to get rid of a couple more leaves. It did give me some new ones recently, like here's a new leaf, here's a new leaf, and there's another one here. And I have several that are popping up too. And the corm, I'm gonna show you guys the corms that I took. So when I repotted this one and I repotted my azalani is not doing well, and I will show you guys that one. But this one seems to be doing really well. It's adjusted. It's kind of fanned out in all directions, but so far it seems happy and giving me lots of new leaves. I am concerned about, you know, like I said, some of those spots that are popping up, but I will just do my best to keep an eye on it. And yeah, it's only really on 2 more leaves or 3 more leaves. It's not on any of the new ones. Look at that new one. That one is cute. Such a cute leaf. I love the shape and everything. And this is a cutie new one too. That one there. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it to grow more and get even bigger. And I'm happy that this one is doing well. So I'm going to show you the corms and the azalani one next. All right, the azalani is down to pretty much 1 leaf. This leaf is completely yellowing. The fungal infection seemed to continue to spread. I even like retreated it. And the newest leaf here is, you know, unhappy. Like I said, whatever fungal infection this was, like completely took over. I've never seen a fungus spread like this before. So I'm probably going to be getting rid of both of these leaves, and if it does have a new growth, it will come up out of here. But honestly, I kind of just feel like this plant is it was just doomed with that fungal infection. I do have lots of corms that are sprouting, so I think I'll probably just end up starting this plant over again. If a new leaf, I'm going to keep this. If a new leaf does come out of here and it seems to be fine, there's no fungal issue, then we'll see what happens. It's kind of like a watch and see type thing. I'm expecting this fungal infection to kind of take over and be on the new leaves too, as that's what I'm worried about. Yeah, I'm really sad because when I got this azalani, it was so pretty, and this is all that's left. But I have high hopes with the corms. Let me grab those next. Look at that. Look at all the growth points. Do you see? So exciting. This one obviously is getting squished. I'm probably gonna have to start leaving the top off because that's getting squished by the lid. So on this side here was all the dragon's breath, and I have pretty much growth points on all the corms except for a couple of them. So they're doing really well. I'm gonna have lots of little babies. In the azalani, I have growth points on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And there's some corms without growth points yet. You can make those out in there, if you can see. Let me put this tray of water down. And then on the sides of this container, you can see all the little roots there that have grown. So they're doing really well. They love the Fluval Stratum. So I took these and repotted these alocasias on 2/14. So it's been almost a month. Not quite. They're moving a little bit slower, I think, just because we're still not like fully into spring, and I feel like alocasias sometimes can tend to go more dormant in winter. In my cabinet, it's been pretty warm and humid in there. Not as warm as it would be over summer. So, I mean, they are growing. I think it's just taking them a little bit longer to wake up because of that. But overall, I'm very happy with the progress. I feel like I'll be getting some new leaves on these soon, and I can't wait to show you that. So even if this azulani dies here, you know, I'll have lots of corms to grow, so I will get a growing plant. One day it might just take a little bit longer. I'd rather start over with a healthy corm that doesn't have an infection versus this that is just pitiful looking. So yeah, I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm gonna cut this leaf off and hang on to it with one big leaf. I might treat it again with the fungicide since it's been a while. If the new growth comes out with the fungal infection, like I said, I'm just gonna toss this and get rid of it and start over with the happy, healthy corms. The next plant update that I wanna show you is this here. I don't think I showed you guys. I think it was my Instagram. So when I was rearranging my room and like cleaning my moss pole area, I noticed my majestic had some yellowing, and I was concerned that maybe there was some root rot, which was correct. And when I took the plant out of the soil, it had some rotting roots. And so it was one vine, but it had 3 leaves. It had these two. These are two. This is a top cut and a mid cut, and then this was the other. This was the base. The one vine I cut into 3 sections. And so what I did was just prop them, and I'm rerooting them in moss. And once they get enough roots, I will pop them back up and I will put them on probably a thickly pole. The cuttings are actually doing well. So this was the butt cut, the bottom. And so the leaf died, but I do have a growth point here happening that you can see. I feel like there's some new roots in here. It's hard to make out, but I don't want to disturb it. So this is the bottom that had some rotting roots, but it does have a new growth, which I'm excited about. And this one here, so the top cut is this leaf that's yellowing, but it does have a growth point that is trying to do something here that you can see. So usually when you are propagating, sometimes the propagated leaf goes quicker. That was Star. Hi, cutie. And sometimes they hang with the plant for a while, so it just depends. And so this mid-cut seems to be doing well too. This leaf hasn't gone. I don't know if this one has a growth point yet. I haven't gone in here to check, but I do see new roots that are forming that you can see. There's one there kind of going across. So these just have to reroot. These didn't have any roots since they were the top and mid cut, and the bottom was the one that had roots. I think this had the same problem with my Philodendron verrucosum. You can actually see my verrucosum back there that's doing so much better. It's right there. So what happened was I put it on one of my big wire poles, and it didn't have a significant enough roots to withstand being on a pole where it's just like a lot more moisture some days when you're watering a pole. And I started the pole way too big, and yeah, I think overall it just didn't do well. So when these root enough and I put them on a pole, the thickly pole, they won't have very much. It'll be a smaller pot, and it won't be as much moss to water. So I feel like the soil isn't going to be staying as wet. So yeah, that is the update on the majestic. This is similar to the sodiroi that I showed you too. I'm happy to have both, and you know, it is going to grow back, and it's going to be beautiful one day once I, you know, get it potted up on a pole. It's just going to take a little bit longer than expected, but that is okay. I got this one last summer when I did that, or sometime last year when I did that plant shopping video. I got this one locally. I am just excited to rehab it and get it growing here again soon. I think this is probably the last plant update that I have that was like a newer plant. But if there was another plant that I didn't show that I somehow missed, just let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure to show it in my next planty update that I do with all my other plants. But this one here I got at the same time as my jacklyn. This is my Monstera dubia, and it's doing so well, you guys. I have 1, 2, 3 leaves since I put it on the pole. And you can see that it's starting to size up again. I'm confused now. Okay, this was the first leaf over here. That was the second leaf. And then that was the newest leaf. It's still hardening and it has a growth point here. And it's already starting to size up again, which makes me super excited. And yeah, the plant was cut from the top growth here on this side. And I don't see another like growth activation here on this one, but this node here popped out instead. So I don't know if this vine possibly would grow anything else. We'll see, but I feel like it's just going to be one vine climbing up. And it seems to be rooting okay in the soil. I can't tell too much. And yeah, the original leaves are still like happy and healthy looking. So I'm excited to have a Monstera dubia. I don't know, like I said when I put this plant on this pole that I wasn't sure like what took me so long to get a Monstera dubia, and now that I have one, I love it. And it's gonna be so exciting, you know, once I get split leaves on this plant. I feel like out of all the plants that I've gotten, like that were new, I feel like this one is probably doing the best. I feel like, oh, is that a beneficial mite? Oh, hello. There's a beneficial mite on here. I didn't know I had any still left. I'm actually going to be ordering some soon. Where'd he go? Oh, I don't see him now. He disappeared. But I would say, yeah, out of all the new plants that I got, I feel like this one, so I got in January with my jacklyn, and it's already given me 3 leaves, plus a newer one, so I feel like this one is definitely growing the fastest and doing the best. And I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be beautiful and I can't wait. I'm gonna be so excited to watch this one climb. So that's all the new plant updates that I have for you today for this video. And like I said, I'll do another planty update towards like the end of the month, beginning of April. And I'll take you around to my plant room and do a more thorough update on a lot of my other plants. But I just wanted to give you guys a new plant update real quick, just for those that were curious about them. And I'm so excited to look back and see these plants by the end of summer and just see where they are and how much they've grown by the end of the growing season. So I can't wait to do another update on these. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.